Welcome back to the Speaking and Communicating podcast. I am your host, Roberta. If you're looking to improve your communication skills, both personally and professionally, this is the podcast for you. And at the end of the episode, please don't forget to subscribe, give a rating, and a review. Today, I have the privilege of being joined by Bronte Hemingway. She's the CEO and founder of Pro Black Films. She is the kind of creative who not only creates platforms for herself, but for others as well. Very giving spirit. And you'll find out more about it as I start to have a conversation with Bronte. Before I go any further, please help me welcome Bronte. Hi.
Hey.
How's it going today?
Good. Good in yourself?
I'm good. Nice to finally to be able to have a chance to chat to you. So you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone on Speaking and Communication podcast. My name is Bronte Hemingway from Brooklyn, New York. It's a pleasure to be here today with all of you.
Welcome all the way from Brooklyn. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
So where do I start? So for starters, I'm just a regular girl. I consider myself as a regular average Brooklyn girl, but apparently I'm beginning to move in different directions where I'm being pulled to become like a, international girl. And that's due to my company. My company is allowing me to expand and, just grow in ways that I've never even imagined. And I'm just learning new things about myself each and every day.
So, did you grow up in Brooklyn? Is that where you were born?
Yes, so I'm from Brooklyn, New York, Crown Heights to be exact. Right now, I'm located in East Flatbush, but I'm looking to relocate to Georgia soon. So I'm going to be hopefully a Georgia peach soon. So no more.
Are we running away from the cold?
Yep, I'm running away from the cold apple into the warm peach.
So that means I can never invite you to Chicago.
Well, listen, I'm very mobile. So one thing that I'm very thankful is that I have family in the airlines. So that makes me very accessible.
Good. No, that's good to hear. All right. So do you have any brothers and sisters? Were you an only child?
Yes. So I actually have 3 sisters. I have 2 sisters on my dad's side, 1 sister from my dad and my mom. And then I have a brother who is from my mom's side. So I have 4 siblings in total. Is that 4? Yeah. 4 siblings in total.
Are you guys close?
So I'm very close with with the sister from my mom and dad's side. We're only 18 months apart.
Oh yeah, you practically grew up as twins. Okay.
Right. Yes. My mother used to dress us alike, do our hair alike. We wasn't necessarily into the same things as far as profession, education, and things like that. Mm-hmm. Probably games, we play, the kid games together. But
of course.
Than that, right. Other than that, choice of friends, we're very different. But yeah, we grew up pretty much looking the same and dressing the same. But to be quite honest, she's older than me and I'm the baby. And I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but I'm taller than her. So she's 5'5".
And yet she's the older one.
And she's the older one. She's 30. I think she's turning 30 in November, and I'm 29.
You got the height. I'm jealous. I'm only 5'2".
Listen, growing up, I didn't want the height because I was the tallest of my class everywhere I went, and I didn't like it.
You can reach the taller cupboards. So, when you talk about school, what is it that you did after high school, when you graduated high school?
So after high school, to be quite honest, I did take about a year off. I took a year off to work because my mom, she was one of the parents who wouldn't allow her children to work until they graduated high school. So to this day, I still don't really know what that was about, but because me and my my rebellious spirit, I kind of broke the rules anyway and decided to find a job in my 11th year of high school. So I found a job at Radio Shack, which was like one of the first jobs that I, actually fell in love with. And then basically, a couple years later, I decided to apply to college because my mom was pushing. Well, she was, I would say she was pushing me. She, at the time, it sounded like the best thing to do. I didn't necessarily have any like friends, like like-minded friends. I didn't necessarily have like a direction in life. So school, I was like, okay, you can find friends, you can find something to do, in school. So I went to school. And then
so what did you study at college?
So in college, I studied business administration.
Any particular reason you chose that as your career path?
Yeah, it was actually second choice. Initially, I went to school thinking I was going to study computer science because I was very well aware of where the direction of, society was going, which was technology and metaverse. And so I was trying to jump ahead of the curve, but then the numbers and, calculations, math, I was great in math, but I did not care for math. So
you should have contacted me. I'm a math tutor.
Yeah. See, I did not care for math, so I stayed far, far away from it. I did well. The furthest I studied in math was maybe algebra, but after that, I sold myself short to go to calculus and geometry and all those other things.
Math is the reason I used to be excited about waking up in the morning and go to school. That's how much I love it. All right. So you studied business administration, and then afterwards, what did you do?
So after college, wow, I forgot this even happened. I was actually working at an internship while I was at college. I applied to this intern. I applied to a bunch of internships just to get office experience because I no longer wanted to work in retail. So there was this one job that I applied to on Craigslist. Out of the many applications that jobs that I applied to, or I should say applications, but Craigslist, it's not really a formal application. So out of the many jobs that I reached out to, this was the only internship that considered me for an interview. And I had no idea I even applied for this company. But once they called me back for an interview, I looked up the company and then I was just amazed about, I was amazed regarding like the companies that they were in collaboration with. Like the company, it was a talent and model staffing agency. Basically, we staff talent and models for corporate and commercial events. So we would basically, not we, but they would basically find models to serve, like act as the brand ambassador for like Macy's, Victoria's Secret, Tom Ford, J. Crew, companies like that. How old was I? I was like 19. And the 19-year-old me, still the kid in me, was amazed. And I kind of like, discontinued my education. And I followed my dreams in TV and film, to be quite honest.
So you changed from business administration to TV and film?
No. So I think looking back, this might have been God because looking back, something happened with my financial aid. Like they wouldn't allow me to pick my classes, pick free classes or something like that. They wouldn't allow me to pick free classes. And when the financial advisor picked my classes for me, he picked classes that weren't covered by financial aid or something like that. So I ended up having to owe like a whole semester worth classes. And they basically prevented me from attending the next semester of college. So until that cleared up. So while that cleared up, I was at my internship. I was promoted as the CEO's assistant / talent scout / booking associate. So / so all these things from like, this internship. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna see it through. And college is just gonna have to catch me at a later date. And basically, I think I have, I can't remember how many credits I have. I was only in my like year and a half of college. Like it was only the mid-second, like the before the spring semester started of the second year of college, basically.
Okay. So you just focused on the internship and then you came back later to finish your college studies?
No, I do not have my college degree currently.
Oh, okay. That's why. So you continued on this path of exposure to these big names and signing up models for these big names. What happened after that?
So shortly after that, that position slowly, I want to say burned out. It was time for me to, I felt like it was time for me to move on.
Mhm.
And the CEO, she was also my mentor. At that time, I really struggled a lot with pronunciation, like pronouncing my G's at the end of the, like going. I used to say going
Okay.
instead of going. Like I used to have a hard.
Isn't that an American thing though?
It is, it is, but we're unaware that it's not like, not politically correct, but we're unaware that it's not like, the English.
I'm South African. Yeah, we speak a lot more formally, so we do say going. Yes.
Right. So
Mhm.
I was not pronouncing my G's. I was not, when I said ask, I would say ax. So
I've heard that. Is that a thing for like, yeah, I've heard you guys mix up the S and the K. How I've picked that up when people are talking here, which was new to me. But Karen?
right. I think it's, well, see, me, where I'm from a community, like I'm basically from like what most people call the hood or the ghetto, whatever. So that's where I'm from. So we are very lazy in our like, like speaking and the way we speak, like we connect words. Like it's so funny because there's this one popular like breakfast sandwich here in New York City called bacon, egg and cheese. But
Right.
a lot of people say bacon, egg, and cheese, but we pronounce it as one word, like bacon, egg, and cheese. Like it's just how we speak.
You just skip a lot of things.
Yeah, bacon, egg, and cheese, like bacon, egg, and cheese. So that's how we, that's how we do things. Like we're lazy when we speak and when we think about words.
Quick experience of that. I remember my first visit in this country. It was in 2013, and my friend that I was visiting, she was listening to a rap song. I can't remember. I don't know who the artist is. Obviously, I can't remember what the song was about. But I just remember this line where it says, "She says, do you hear what he's saying?" He said, "Oh, you know." I'm like, "Huh?" He says, "You don't even know." I said, "He's not saying that at all. That's not what I heard."
See, I knew you said that though. I knew.
You know.
Yeah.
What?
For the like that like we know, like
You don't even know.
like that's it's late, like that's how we, and then that's also like code, like so we could talk about people behind their back, like oh you didn't even know you did that over there, like so like it's just a New York thing. I don't know.
All right. So how did you then get started on this? What did you feel was your calling when you started Rope Like Films?
So well, when you are you referring to the TV and film career?
Yes. So when you left the agency, did you go straight to thinking, hey, I need to start this, or was there something else that led you to this?
So I was honestly intrigued learning more about the behind the scene aspect of TV and film because here in New York City, there used to be a TV show called 106 in Park. So have you heard of that? 106 in Park? It was like a
Not
show on
South Park.
No, it was a show on BET, like a music a music show. They played like a #1 countdown, and yeah.
Oh, it's sort of like an MTV version, smaller version of MTV. No.
Yeah, but it was like the Black, urban version.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically I was able to get some tickets to be a guest on that show in the audience. So I was able to see everything, like the cameras, lights, the behind the scenes, and I was just able to see all that fast-paced action. And I'm looking like, this is nothing what I just like, this is nothing like, basically the job that I just came from. It was fast-paced, but it wasn't this fast. And I was like, I think I want to like do this, like, because at that moment I was looking for booking agent jobs. I was looking for manager, like booking manager, assistant jobs. I was looking for casting assistant jobs. But as soon as I got on the behind the scenes of 106 Park, I went back on Craigslist. At that point, Craigslist was reliable to me. And I found a program here in New York City called Made in New York. It's actually, it's called Made in New York. And basically, I applied. So it's a production training program for New York City, for minorities or anyone who's interested in the TV and film industry to gain 6 weeks of training to be ready for working on sets, working on commercials, music videos, fashion shoots, TV shows. So they basically train you to be the assistant for those sets.
Oh, okay. So that's what you joined.
Yeah, so that's what I joined. I completed that program for 12 weeks. The first 12 weeks, it was actually a driving program. So it was 6 weeks of learning how to drive. They basically offered 30 hours of free road lessons. Wow. So I was able to get my driver's license for free. And because in production, the way to make the most money is if you know how to drive, because they rely on assistants to be their mode of transportation. So they basically provided us, our license before the training. So after the 6 weeks of training, we entered the production training. So that was from, I want to say like 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day training for, unpaid training.
But you're gaining the experience, yeah.
Right, because you're on set for like 12 plus hours on any, given set or any given day.
I've heard some Hollywood actors say sometimes it's longer.
Oh yes, I did 22 hours one day. Did 22 hours one day, yep. And it didn't feel like it. You get treated. That's
how much fun you're having?
Yeah, you get treated pretty well. Like, wow. And me, I have like I like to call it a go-getter. A go-getter and a goal-getter like spirit. Like I like to achieve goals, and I like to if you need something, listen, I'm gonna get it. Like, I'm here for you. I'm your girl. So I had that type of energy on set. And then to be quite honest, I know I'm jumping around. Okay, I'll come back to that later, but I truly believe my name, Bronte Hemingway, having that name has got me into a lot of the positions that I've had, because it is a conversation starter. So I was able to just interact with more departments on set. I was able, just off the strength of my name, off the strength of introducing myself. Hi, my name is Bronte. Like, oh, Bronte. Like,
I'm about to ask, what prompted your parents to name you Bronte? Is it because you're from Brooklyn?
No, my parents didn't name me. My sister named me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Based on?
Someone, the Bronte sisters, they're literary authors from the 18th century. And I guess she was studying it in school at the time, and my mom couldn't think of a name, or didn't have a name at the time of my birth. And I guess my sister suggested Bronte, and now I'm Bronte.
They were literal in literature?
Yeah, literary. Literature.
Which means they were creative and artsy, and that's what you became. Your sister is good premonition.
To be honest, I feel like I was kind of forced this creativity a little bit, to be honest, because like I have like a West Indian background. So my dad and his ex-wife, they used to like try to push me to write a book. a children's book ever since I was maybe 11 or 13.
Why so young? What's the pressure?
I don't know, but a lot of people saw a lot of things in me, from principals to like teachers. I don't know what they saw in me, but now I see it in myself. Like I always, my imagination, I guess. I
Oh,
always had an
wow.
imagination. Yeah.
That's very powerful. I have a friend who he used to, at first he got in trouble at school, but not bad trouble. He just never used to concentrate because he was always into his creative mode when class is doing Shakespeare, whatever. And what happens is he was lucky enough that his teacher picked that up about him, saw his talent. And so the teacher and the principal, they opted to say, wait a minute, every time he gets into this creative zone mode of not listening in class, we're going to send him to the principal's office. We'll say to the kids he's in trouble. But basically, what they did was they were trying to hide him from the other kids, because then the other kids would want to play too, but they don't have this creative talent. And so when he's sitting alone in the principal's office, he used to then do his creative stuff. Today, he flies to LA every other week to co-produce with musicians and have a billion TikTok views. So they saw that in him as a kid.
Yeah, I agree. That's how it usually begins. Like honestly, I always pushed away my creativity. I always like turned a blind eye to it, like growing up, because like I thought I always used that energy into like running, like, you know, running the streets, running around with friends, you know, playing hooky, not going to school, not going to classes, like just doing things that I wanted to do that didn't consider education. It wasn't necessarily drawing, it wasn't necessarily, you know, a coloring book, it wasn't necessarily playing video games. It was just me wanting to be around friends and just having fun, listening to
the
music.
rebellious spirit again.
Yeah, that's how I internalized my creativity. I assumed, I don't know, but I never saw this back then. Like where, like my creativity now, like how I'm able to visualize, and I can sketch now. I can paint. I told myself how to. I told myself how to sing, what I consider singing, because I gave myself vocal lessons for 2 years.
Wow.
Like you know, all these things. I felt like I could have done them when I was younger, but my mind was too busy. I was too busy chasing that distraction of, you know, I don't know what it was, but it was a big distraction. No longer.
And so how did you then come back to focusing and starting your company?
Well, this took a lot of self-work, learning to love myself. It took, I lost a lot of friends. I even lost my boyfriend.
What, they stopped talking to you?
No, this all happened leading up into my business. Like I feel like I had to lose these things and then learn about myself. And then once I knew myself, then God was like, okay, I got something for you. And then now I got 240 members in my.
So were they a distraction, or were they, you know how they say people come to you for a reason, a season, or a lifetime? Were they with you during the season when you didn't have the vision you have for yourself now? And then when that started to bloom, they felt like they don't have space in your life anymore?
No. Wow, no, that's not at all what happened. Wow. They were still there. They were there at the beginning.
Okay.
They were there after. I personally were growing faster than they were. And it's not, and I never judged them for it. I never looked at them differently for it. I never even thought anything of it. Like things happen, life happened.
Yeah, and you just, as they say, drifted apart.
Yeah, that's that.
Right. And so now you have these 240 members in your website. Talk to us. So how long has the company been in existence, first of all?
So I've launched the company in March 2022.
This year. So Raw Black Films was founded in March this year. All right. So it's pretty new. But you say you have 240 members?
Yep. 240 members who are officially signed up and registered to my database, my website, my not subscribers, but my community.
Mm-hmm. So what is it that your company does? Why did you launch the company?
So Raw Black Films is an unapologetic production company for TV, film, and media. We have our very own writer's room called the Urban Writer's Room. So there we offer public resources for entrepreneurs and creatives to basically dream out loud and dream on purpose. We have weekly events. Every Sunday at 3 p.m., we have a virtual event for the community. Every event is different. One is basically a writer's event to teach you the fundamentals of storytelling. We have a comedy room to teach you the fundamentals of becoming a strong comedy coach or comedian or comedy writer. We have another room, a music room, which is for music people to either teach you artist development tools and techniques, or how to become audio or sound technician, or to start a career in audio sound technician. And then we also have a motivation room. It's called Think Tribes. So it's called Think Champs. Think Champs is basically a motivation room that is designed as a pick-me-up along the journey for entrepreneurs and creatives. So it's hosted by a life coach, where she just, is there to just inspire, uplift, and motivate us on a road to success.
Wow. So all of these people are doing this voluntarily. You said the membership is free, right?
Yeah, so all the events are free. The membership right now is free. And all the volunteers are definitely being so generous and so kind to, educate and inspire the next generation of creators and entrepreneurs. I appreciate them so much.
Wow. When we spoke earlier, you said that, so just run us through the process again. You submit your creative idea to the website, and then what happens?
So, sorry, repeat the question.
You said what happens is the members anybody can submit their creative idea to the website, and then what happens next?
So yes, we do provide a creative room and a writer's room. So the creative room allows members or anyone to submit a creative, idea that they have. So for example, in the TV and film industry, we use the name logline to pitch a one-liner, one-sentence project. So you can use that form to pitch an idea. And then if you don't know how to write the story, if you don't know how to develop the characters, for example, if you've been working in the finance industry, but you need to access ideas of characters who work everyday jobs in retail, or maybe I want to say your maintenance man, or your average mom and pop shop owner. A financial strategist wouldn't necessarily know that because they've been in the financial industry for X, Y, whatever years.
Right.
So we provide the space so if they have an idea, we could plug them in with a community of like-minded thinkers from all over the world, where basically we have members in over, I want to say, 10 countries. So we have members from all over the world, all walks of lives, from novice to producers of big name projects, big name movies. I'm not trying to name drop because confidentiality is key. But we do, like, you know, in myself, you know, I have some, you know, resources that I can offer and bring to the table. So
especially with your previous jobs and the networks that you made there.
Right. So we're just trying to create a community full of resources, ideas, like-minded thinkers, and a place to tell and create a lane for telling unapologetic stories from a authentic perspective, and a relatable and a, you know, self-representatory, like, you know, fashion. Like, we want to bring that narrative of like the feel-good shows of, like, you know, we want to create some more nostalgia, because at this point the way TV and film is going, I'm not sure if any, you know, 20 to 30 years from now, I'm pretty sure a lot of these we won't remember. A lot of the shows and TV shows we won't remember, because
do you know what I watch on YouTube? Speaking of nostalgia, I watch Sparks and Sparks. There's a few episodes. The guy who used to play Lamar, he uploaded a few. So I watch Sparks, I watch Thea, I watch Good Time. All those 90s shows, oh my God, all those family-based shows. What happened?
Right. Honestly, a lot of people blame it on millennials because they are in control of social media, and that's what's driving the ratings these days. So a lot of people blame us millennials, because whatever they're interested in at the moment, that's what's popular.
So millennials, why aren't you interested in creating another Moesha or Family Matters? What happened? Why aren't you guys not creating the family pages? I'm not saying, you know, be old and ancient like us, but even if it's current, contemporary, but can't it just have that thing that the 90s shows used to have? Now it's just completely gone off the tangent.
No, that's completely on track. Like, you know, that's completely on topic, trust me, because I agree. I'm only 29 years old, and I feel the same way. Like, right now, I would rather not watch TV. Like, I would rather sit in a quiet room.
I barely watch it myself.
And then I remember the days where we used to run home to watch our favorite show. Or we used to, like, you know, anticipate like that weekly show like launching, or we used to like talk about a show for weeks, or rewatch a show.
That episode, you record it on the VCR.
Record it and watch the same thing every day.
Trust me, there are episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air today that even my brother and I, we know word for word. Right. Some of my favorite episodes.
I cannot tell you the last show that I even wanted to record and learn line from line. Like, it doesn't happen. It doesn't exist anymore. So, and I think it takes me, a millennial like myself, to walk out in faith and not see if I can do something about it, and do something about it, because I do feel like I'm doing something about it. Like, I'm doing the best I can, and at this point, my best has to be good enough, because something has to be done, and I feel like I can't abandon this mission and 240 people who's with the same mission, with the same goal, with the same, like, you know, integrity. Right. I can't like, I have to like,
you also the ideas not to disclose too much from the work that you do, obviously, but do you feel like in general, overall, are some of the ideas that are submitted, are they going that direction, or is it more like the Lil Wayne stuff? You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So we're trying not to focus on the stereotypes of, like, you know, right. The norms of, like, you know, the hood flicks and like Black men getting locked up, and then like the Black, you know, criminal. Like, we're not focused on that. We're focused on telling the real stories, like the untold stories, the the stories that we wouldn't normally have access to, because I'm still basically where I grew up at. So I have an opportunity to access the stories that people in Hollywood wouldn't even know about. So the reason why I think it's great that I launched this now while I'm still in a position where I'm at before, I relocate, because I do plan on relocating soon, but while I'm still here, I am grateful that I'm able to launch something like this and, just get some of those stories told and documented and create a space for it.
And speaking of Hollywood, why do we have this tendency, especially if you're in the acting and or TV and film business? Why do we have this tendency to wait for Hollywood to give us a call and say, "Hey, Bronte, there's an acting part for you," instead of doing what you do, which is let me create my own table, so to speak?
I think it's the fear. I think it's the fear of rejection, denial, the lack of confidence. I think it more so has to do with the lack of confidence that we have as African Americans, because we see the opportunities for everyone else, but when we look around, it's like very few opportunities for us. So we tend to either do something else to get by and put ourselves out there, of course, to pay the bills. I think that a lot of us, think it's not meant for us. I think a lot of us.
But why not, like you did, not just think, okay, they're not calling me. Steven Spielberg's not going to call me. Let me create something like Bronte did.
Yeah.
Let me create my own table instead of being called to the Hollywood table.
See, me, I'm a little different. I have like a social media management background. So I think that gave me a little bit of the advantage of, it gave me the advantage of launching this like the way I did, because I do have a social media marketing background. So it's easy for me to put something together with $0 to little dollars. It's easy for me to put something together with, just an idea, because I know somebody will be interested. Like somebody is always looking to relate or collaborate. I know that I just know the power of social media. I know I grew up in a time. I'm a millennial, so I grew up in an era where there wasn't any technology and where there is technology. So I'm able to find that loophole and figure out how to speak to the people, how to speak to people that are younger than me, how to speak to people that, maybe a little bit older than me, how to speak to different cultures, just because of the generation we grew up in. It's the generation of the internet. We went through the trial and error phase of StoneX and MySpace and all these other websites and even AIM. So we put ourselves out there in ways that today we wouldn't normally, and then unfortunately that created the person that we are today. So I think I'm built a little differently because of the social media background.
Right, I hear you, but I think the bottom line is create your own thing. Find a way, like you said, to collaborate with other people and create your own thing instead of just waiting. And do you prefer competition or collaboration?
Collaboration.
Always. I'm the same.
Competition.
I'm the same. Collaboration creates a lot more and a lot more people benefit. And it's a much bigger mission. Talk to us more about social media marketing, because you seem to be well versed on the subject.
Yes. So basically at the talent agency that I mentioned before, there I was also the social media manager. I was in charge of everything digital, the websites, the email outreach. I was in charge of marketing, advertising, everything. So there I learned a lot about how to market a business and market talent. So basically, that was in 2013. I've been working in production from 2015. And in 2017, I decided I wanted to take a couple steps back because I was getting burnt out working the 12 plus hours a day. I've worked anywhere from like 12 to 22 hours per day. It was excruciating. So I was getting burnt out pretty fast, and I felt like I wasn't accelerating in my career as fast as I wanted to. And honestly, I'm actually gonna go off topic because one thing I tried to do a lot was conform to the industry. I tried to strip away everything that I was just to fit in. And that started with my voice, like changing the way I speak, like using a higher pitched voice. That came with not speaking up and not voicing my opinion. And that came with not really knowing what I want. So I felt like I had to take a couple steps back. And basically, I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but I did launch a little side hustle, which was a social media management company or business side hustle, where I was able to help friends and families launch their businesses and things like that.
All right. Here's my question. If you are at any job, not just TV and film, if you're at any job, isn't it common sense to not change who you are, but to adjust to what the job requires? Because you want to keep the job, no?
That's true, but I felt like I was not being real and authentic. I was just being an employee.
Was it like the devil wears Prada?
Yep. I felt like, I didn't even know who that, I can't even tell you who that person was today.
Wow.
Yeah. And it happened for a reason because I know that perfection doesn't get you anywhere.
Does it even exist to begin with?
No. So come as you are and show up as yourself, because someone will love you, someone will accept you.
So that's more an abundance mentality rather than I have to keep this job and do whatever it takes, otherwise I don't have another one type of mindset. Right. All right, talk to us about Video Shack.
Video Shack?
Video Shack.
Oh, Radio Shack. I'm so sorry, but can 1 second?
So walk us through Radio Shack.
So Radio Shack, that was a retail store. It was a retail store here in the US. I'm not sure if it was an international store, but yeah, it was a retail store that sold, it was like a Best Buy. It was a Best Buy. They sold cell phones, they sold TVs, internet, they sold everything technology, batteries, parts.
Was that what influenced you to be more interested in TV and film?
No, I think I've always been interested in computers. I've always been interested in computers. That's why I wanted to go to school initially for computer science. Yeah, I think it was just computers.
Right. All right. So anything you want to tell us more about Raw Black Films before we wrap up?
So, we have a free event every Sunday at 3 p.m. Anyone is welcome to join and RSVP through our website, www.rawblackfilms.com. Feel free to sign up for our, Well, basically, once you sign up to the website and you become a member, you'll have the opportunity to receive email blasts and production gig updates. You'll have what else you'll receive? You'll receive the event updates. You'll receive any projects that would need creative ideas. Yeah, so anyone is welcome to sign up to exercise their creativity.
Mm-hmm. Raw Black films for all types of creatives and entrepreneurs. And Bronte, when you talk about not changing who you are to fit the mold, to fit whatever you feel like the situation is calling for, what is it about raw Black film creatives and entrepreneurs on when it comes to that lesson? Do you pick that up? Is their work raw? Is it authentic as you want it to be, as it was your mission?
Yes, actually, I think this is everything I could have envisioned. I actually had a member who pulled me to the side on one of the events, and he was just like I've always dreamed of a space where I would be in a room full of creatives just bouncing ideas and you know, giving their opinions on a character or a story, or just I've always had that imagination, and the fact that he actually got to experience that, he was just you know, so in awe and thanking me. So I do believe that this space is necessary because we do offer the rooms as a sounding board. So for example, the comedy room, the first 30 minutes of the comedy event, you'll learn the fundamentals. I want to say the first 15 to 30 minutes, you'll learn the fundamentals of, you know, becoming a strong comedian. And then the remaining, I want to say 30 to 45 minutes, you'll actually build a comedic character. So everyone in the virtual class will incorporate when building this comedic character. So if you need a character for a virtual skit, like a social media skit, if you need a character for a short story, a short film, a feature film, a novel, then if you need specifically a comedic character, then we will teach you how to build and show you how to build a comedic character. And I think that's very important because the direction of the way that comedy is going, no one isn't laughing anymore. The world, I don't know how, but I actually do know how, but the world has become very sensitive and polarized. And that's another thing we're looking to break is that cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Everybody's offended. Comedians don't feel safe anymore. It's crazy. Right. It's crazy.
You tell your mama jokes and can't like.
No, you cannot
imagine anybody doing that.
And the reason I asked about the being authentic and not changing yourself, because you hear a lot of, especially music artists. I mean, acting, yes, you have to change yourself for the character and then you go home. But I feel like music artists, a lot of them, when they leave these record companies and they become independent and they start telling the truth, and they say, I love the music, I don't love the industry. It was turning me into something I'm not.
Yeah, I agree. That's true. From the music side, I would say that's more so true when it comes to media training. So when you become a musician, there's a certain image that you have to uphold when it comes to what you say, how you say, who you date, how you speak, who you speak to, what you put on the internet, all these things. So I can understand how that changes you. But when it comes to being authentically you, I really think that means just like betting on yourself and putting yourself out there in an unapologetic way, no matter who like says what, no matter who, like, you know, who has an opinion, who who sees you. I think that's what it comes more down to, because like I think the reason why a lot of people are afraid to create and execute, or dream and execute, is because they're afraid. It's just too much backlash. It's too much criticism. It's too much judgment. It's too many internet like thugs and bullies, and it's just too much like the comments. Too many ways for people to judge you, and I think that's the problem. But if you're walking in your truth, if you're being unapologetically you, then who cares? Like what anyone has to say. Like,
And I think you also have to let go of the idea, like you were saying earlier, you used to suffer from people pleasing. Let go of the idea that everybody's gonna like you.
right.
I think that's when you can have the courage to be unapologetic. If you let go of the idea that everybody's gonna like you and be nice to you, then that could free you into saying, you know what, this is my creative idea, this is my art. Some people will like it, some people will not, and that's okay.
I agree.
Yeah. Bronte, this has been such a wonderful conversation. I've had lots of fun with you.
Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate this. I truly do.
Thank you not only for being here, but for the space that you're creating for so many people around the world who wouldn't have had the opportunity otherwise. We really appreciate you for that. So before you go, please give us again the website for Raw Black Films.
Yes, so Raw Black Films, the website is www.rawblackfilms, that's RAWBLACKFILMS, rawblackfilms.com.
Very good. Anybody with a creative idea, writing, singing, comedy, whatever it is, join the free classes while it's still free. Because remember, as soon as you have hundreds of thousands, you might start having a lot more competition. So everybody, please, if you are creative and you have an idea, take advantage of this offer right now. You have a whole community of people who are willing to help you bring your idea to life. Bronte, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you for listening to this episode. And as I mentioned earlier, please give it a rating and a review, and don't forget to subscribe.